A nossa conversa de hoje tem o swing, o humor e a extraordinária energia do rei do blues, B.B. King. So, B.B. King.
Yes.
Blues boy.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
I'm talking with the king of the blues.
People say that.
How do you feel?
I feel that I'm a pretty good musician. I feel that I do what I do very well. But if you say king of the blues, I'm happy.
What do you do when you get the blues? Because you say, every day I have the blues.
Well, I guess people have some kind of problems every day, but we don't mention that there is some happiness also every day. Peter Chapman, better known as Memphis Slim, was a very dear friend, and when he wrote that, I don't think that he meant that every day we have so many problems that we can't think positive as well. With me, when I play a concert, I try to portray both sides, the side that you have the blues and the side you don't have the blues. So I try to make what I call a happy medium. Well, I'm moody. I think most people are. There are times when I want to cry.
Really?
Yes, of course. And then I need somebody to say, don't cry, B. Then there are
I want to laugh.
there are other times when I go, ah. Most of the times I'm happy. Most of the time. Even when things are not so good, I'm still happy. Because I always think that there is a better side.
You are always on the road, and there is a kind of loneliness in
Yes.
being on the road.
Yes.
Do you feel that?
Yes.
What do you miss?
On the road, traveling musicians, we get used to certain things at home. If it's nothing but just sitting watching TV or maybe playing some games. These things you miss on the road too, so you have to learn to make each hotel room be home.
And did you
So
learn
each
that?
night, yes, you eventually learn. I have a friend that had a new house built home for himself, and he had one room built like a hotel room. So he could feel home. So I think we missed that. But traveling musician, you first, in the beginning of your career, you learn that everything else must go but what you're doing. So you focus only on that. Whatever this world is, you live in it.
So, you were a single man.
Yes.
Not-
Except one. I've got one girl. Lucille.
And you're very faithful to Lucille, aren't you?
Yes. Very, very.
And she's as famous as you are.
More.
More.
Yes. It's been times when we do commercials. Several times I remember companies would come and they would call and say, is Lucille ready? They didn't ask for me.
She's a tough cookie.
Yeah.
But aren't you married now?
No, I've been divorced for quite a few years now. Maybe one day I'll be married again. I would like to be.
How many times did you get married?
I've been married 2 times, divorced 2 times.
Long relationships?
First time was 6 years. Then I stay single for about 8 years. Then I get married again, and I stay married for 10 years. 10 beautiful years. I enjoy it very much. And then I've been single now for many, many years, divorced. Most people that travel, man or woman, their spouse, the other person, don't always travel with you. Person at home, person away. Person usually at home gets very lonely, feels rejected, feels that even when they could go long, that they're in the way, and they feel that they are a burden or problem to the person that's on the road. Then the little, what was together starts to get like this, like that. And then after a while, like that. Well, blues is the most simple. It's not like, let's say we would take Julio Iglesias and he would sing beautiful lyrics. Take Frank Sinatra, Louis Armstrong, maybe even in soul music like Aretha Franklin would say, he's beautiful, or Louis Armstrong would say, what a beautiful world, you know. All this, the blues singer would not. He would look at you and say, baby, you pretty, I love you. Something similar to that. Straight to the point. You said it.
When you sing in your lyrics, you teach men to say, I love you.
Yes. I say it, not really teach him, but show him that he can say it.
You said that women, they love to hear, I love you.
I believe so. I'm a male and I like to hear it. I'd like to hear somebody say, B, I love you, and they mean it. You have friends that say, hey, I love you. And it's the way they say it, whether you believe them or not. And I think that's the same thing with any individual. There are some people that you say, hey, I love you. Then you say, hey, I love you.
Did love make you suffer a lot?
Love in many different ways. As a kid growing up, I never had the love that I felt other people had. My mother died when I was about 9 years old. I lived alone from the time I was 9 years old until I was about almost 13. I lived in a little house by myself. People, I think, liked me, not really loved me. So as I grew up kind of a loner. I guess it's kind of unfair of me, but usually people have to show me that they really care about me before I believe them. I usually start at what I call zero access, meaning that if I meet you, if you're kind to me, I like you. If you're nice to me, I like you. But then I would come to really love you after, not in a sexual love, I'm talking about to love as a person. The more kind you are to me. Even if you scold me, I'm like a little puppy. I figured maybe I needed that. And I'm like that with male or female, but never because someone say this person is bad, I don't think of them as bad. They have to be bad to me for me to think that they are bad.
You have the real feeling of people.
I think so.
That's good.
Well, I think like any young man, I loved, of course, not the love that maybe was a lasting love, because I had a chance to see flowers. This one is beautiful, this one is pretty, this one is pretty. So I think that most of us liked, maybe we didn't touch, but we liked. So yes, I had, in my early years as a young man, but any time that you find one person that you want to live with, that means that you have came to that point of where this is the right one. So I did that 2 times.
Were you faithful?
Yes, of course I was faithful. I'm faithful to my guitar.
Aha, only to Lucille, huh?
Yes, I was faithful.
She's the only one, I think, I guess.
Well, see there, you wouldn't believe me if I told you the truth. Anyway, I think most of us, when we're young, that's why ladies dress a certain way. Men dress. Today in the U.S., young men, a lot of them like to show the chest. You know, the bare chest. Ladies wear short shirts.
What for?
Because they're young. They can. They don't mind being seen. Me, I cover everything. 6 string, all holding me. I'm not the man that I'm supposed to be.
How many shows do you do?
I do, on an average, up until this year, we average about 300 concerts per year. Now, that may sound funny, but some days we do 2 concerts. So if we did, say, 6 days, we may do 12 concerts.
So you work
So not all the time, every day.
non-stopping work?
No, I have time off. This year, I've taken many days off, more than ever
Some
before.
hours, you mean?
No, days. Days off. When I came here, I just came off a mini vacation. I've been off a while, yes.
When you started with the blues, it was considered the devil's music.
Yes.
Why?
Because most of the people in the area was very religious. So they thought, like a lot of people do today, about certain types of music. When people play it today, they say it incites riots, it makes people restless, and it does things to people. So at that time, they felt that blues music was terrible music. And most of the religious people call it the devil's music.
And did you believe this?
No, I still don't.
You'd say, let's shake.
Well, I think you can shake. Whether it's gospel music, you shake on that. Today, people do. I think it's a good music. It's a good type of, it's a kind of music that people can have good times on, like any other kind of music. It's just called blues. I don't think it, not more than any other type of music.
Not more than rock.
Of course, not more than soul, not more than, you have music here in Brazil.
Oh yeah, we have a wonderful
I watch Carnival
music.
and I see, and I say,
Let's,
yeah, I wish I could be there. So I don't think blues is any more so. Most times it's a little more subtle, I think, than most other type of music. Not always. A lot of times when people say blues, they generalize that it's all very slow. My baby loved me, boo, you know. But it's not all like that. Some of it you like to move, energy. I'm what they call Church of God in Christ, sanctified. That's the kind that we don't believe in smoking. You don't believe in drinking, which I do a little. You don't believe in a lot of bad things that we consider bad for some people. But I hardly drink. I don't smoke.
But
I
to
don't
drink
do
is not
drugs.
a sin?
Wine is not a sin.